Young and the Restless full episode Wednesday, September 11, 2024 reveals that Billy will have a dramatic confrontation with Chance. After internal turmoil in the company, Billy realizes that he needs a strong ally to help him maintain his position. Chance, a former police officer, is now at a crossroads in his career when deciding to join the management of a family company is not an easy task. Despite supporting Billy in many difficult situations, Chance is still hesitant. But this hesitation is not due to a lack of faith in the job but because of Billy's erratic temperament and indecisive management style. In the upcoming tense conversation, Billy will give a harsh ultimatum. "You can stay and run the company with me," Billy will say. "But if you decide to leave, don't expect to have the opportunity to come back." This cold statement puts a lot of pressure on Chance, forcing him to make a decision about his future. Will Chance have the courage to stand by Billy, or will he choose to leave, accepting the loss of his last chance at Abbott Chancellor? And if he leaves, what will happen to Billy and the company's future without an ally? Meanwhile, Lily Winters, Billy's former partner and lover, has found his fatal weakness and holds the key to taking him down. Lily, with the ambition to go further, does not hesitate to give this secret to Victor Newman, one of the most powerful men in Genoa City. However, will this cooperation be a double-edged sword? Lily may feel guilty for siding with Victor to take down Billy, the person she once loved, and the question is, will she regret this decision? Phyllis Summers is also not out of this power play. She decides to help Nick Newman realize the truth about Sharon Newman, the person who was once the love of his life. Sharon is struggling with her mental health, and Nick, despite his feelings for Sharon, is worried that she is not really taking her medication as she claims. To find out the truth, Nick and Mariah Copeland team up to investigate whether Sharon is actually adhering to her treatment. Sharon's daughter, Mariah, faces a roller coaster of emotions as she discovers a shocking truth about her mother. This discovery could put the family relationship in jeopardy, as Sharon's secrets begin to come to light. Meanwhile, Daniel Romalotti catches his daughter, Lucy, in a lie. Lucy, who was once an innocent girl in Daniel's eyes, disappoints him when he discovers that she is hiding something. Lucy's story will lead to consequences not only in the family relationship but also may further damage the bond between Daniel and those around him. At the same time, Audra Charles, an ambitious character, has planned revenge on Kyle Abbott. Audra has many complicated relationships in Genoa City, and when pushed into a threatening situation, she does not hesitate to confront Kyle to protect her interests. The tension between the two will lead to major turning points in the relationships between the Newman and Abbott families. Jack Abbott will do everything to protect his son, but this may put him in an unpredictable battle with Victor Newman. Adding to the tension, Nate Hastings and Audra go public with their romantic relationship. This not only shocks those close to them but also creates many complications for the current situation at Abbott Chancellor. Kyle and Summer Newman, after many conflicts, finally decide to cease fire to protect the interests of their son, Harrison Locke. However, this peace may only be temporary, as hidden plots and plans are still going on in the dark. As for Victor, he not only possesses ammunition to fight Billy but is also manipulating many others. Victor has seen Audra's weakness and is ready to push her into rebellion. But before things can calm down, Jack promises Diane Jenkins a plan involving Kyle that could upset everything Victor has planned. Another big threat comes from Lily's tense encounter with Victoria Newman. Victoria, who is divorced from Billy, still feels the need to protect him. She won't sit idly by when she discovers Lily is feeding Victor information to take down her ex-husband. The confrontation between these two strong women could put things in a very tense situation, and this only makes Billy's future more bleak. Lily, when faced with difficult decisions, will justify her actions, as she did when she cut Daniel and Heather Stevens out of her life for personal reasons. But will she be strong enough to face Victoria's wrath? Nick Newman couldn't hide his concern for Sharon Newman's mental health. Although Sharon had promised her family that she would return to taking her bipolar medication immediately, things didn't seem to be going as she said. Nick began to realize that something was wrong, and this time he decided he couldn't stand by and watch. Sharon had promised to call the doctor to schedule an appointment and resume taking her medication, but no one knew that she was being pushed by Cameron Kirsten, a person from her dark past. Cameron kept reminding and provoking Sharon, pushing her to the brink of depression. He knew how to manipulate Sharon, making her increasingly indulge in lies, not only to herself but also to her family. Cameron even emphasized that Sharon had become quite good at lying to her family, whom he called nosy. Nick, though he had been suspicious for a long time, had not acted quickly enough to stop the situation from getting worse. In a moment of self-reflection, Nick realized that he had trusted Sharon too much, not prepared for the worst. He was used to Sharon being a strong person, but this time, something was different. Nick could not deny that Sharon was facing a bigger problem than he had thought. Nick decided to share his concerns with Mariah Copeland, Sharon's daughter. The two sat down to talk about Sharon's recent behavior. Mariah was uneasy, but she did not know what to do. Nick decided that they needed to dig deeper and find out the truth. Was Sharon really taking her medication as she said? "We need to know for sure," Nick insisted to Mariah. "We can't just rely on her word. If Sharon doesn't take her medication, this could get a lot worse." Mariah, reluctant to face the possibility that her mother was cheating, eventually agrees. She begins her own investigation. By the end of the week, Mariah makes a startling discovery. Will this discovery lead them to the truth behind Sharon's condition? Perhaps Mariah contacted her mother's doctor and found that Sharon had canceled all of her appointments. This discovery could be the key to finding out that Sharon wasn't taking her medication as she claimed. Meanwhile, Phyllis Summers, a character who is not very friendly with Sharon, has been keeping a close eye on Sharon's condition lately. Nothing gets past Phyllis. Phyllis not only listens but also watches Sharon's every move, and she is convinced that Sharon is on the verge of a breakdown. While Nick may hope that a serious talk with Sharon will solve everything, Phyllis doesn't think so. According to her, Sharon's condition is so serious that she needs to be hospitalized immediately to stabilize her mind. Phyllis will confront Nick and teach him a real lesson about taking care of Sharon. She is not afraid to speak frankly, and although Nick may not want to hear the truth from Phyllis, perhaps this time he will have to listen. Kyle Abbott and Summer Newman are also going through major changes in their relationship. The two, after a long period of conflict and tension, have finally decided that for the sake of their son Harrison Locke, they must put aside their personal conflicts and agree to raise their child together in a civilized manner. This consensus not only opens up a new path in how they cooperate, but may also rekindle their once deep emotional bond. Kyle and Summer calling a truce could help the two of them get closer emotionally. Working together to raise Harrison could be the foundation for them to overcome their differences and rebuild a relationship that has been damaged by past events. However, what is worrying is that while Kyle is focusing on his relationship with Summer, Audra Charles continues to secretly plot revenge against him. Audra, an ambitious woman who is not afraid to use any means to achieve her goals, has a plan in place to deal with Kyle and even Victor Newman, who she believes is also planning to push her out of the power game. Summer, who has a lot of experience dealing with the intrigue and schemes of the Newman family, could be the one to help Kyle out of this difficult situation. Will the cooperation between Kyle and Summer be strong enough to deal with the risky plans of Audra and Victor? Subscribe to Yonder to update the latest news on our channel.